Greetings, dear students. My name is David Tovar, and today I'm going to explain what you have to do in this activity, which is looking for a destination. So remember, the activity starts on August 31st and it ends on September 28th, right? So let's take a look at the different steps that you have to follow. Step number one, content review. You have to go to your ebook and you have to study and do all the exercises of modules 1 and modules 2. While you are doing the exercises of module 1, you will probably come across this exercise, which is exercise 14, and it's talking about superstitions. So let's take a look at this exercise. Is the one that you have on the screen. It says, are you superstitious? Record yourself expressing your opinion regarding a Colombian superstition. You have to speak for 2 minutes. So in this exercise, you have to investigate a common or a popular superstition, right? But it's not only investigating about it, you also have to give your opinion on that superstition. On the screen, you have an example. Here on the top, you have the superstition. And below it, you can find my opinion. Once you have done this, you have to record your voice. Or if you want to record a video, you can do it too, right? So you have to speak for 2 minutes, telling not only the superstition, but also your opinion. Remember, you have to tell both things, the superstition and what you think on that superstition, right? Once you are through, you have to share your voice recording or your video in the forum. Don't forget to share it in the forum, right? That was step number one. Now, let's take a look at step number two, is a reading activity. So step number two says that you have to read a test called a travel guide, which is this test, okay? So you have to read it first, and once you have read it, you have to answer the following questions. You have to answer these questions, right? So please don't forget to use have to, must, or mustn't in your answers. It means you have to use the modal verbs, okay? So I have an example of the for the first question. What are some recommendations to visit Bangkok? And I have an example in here. You must visit the street markets of Prakanong. So don't forget to use must or have to or mustn't, modal verbs, okay? And once you have answered those questions, you have to share the answers in the forum. Don't forget to share the answers in the forum, right? Let's continue with step number three. Step number three, at this stage, you are going to imagine that you are a travel agent and you are going to imagine that you want to promote a destination, right? So you have to complete this chart with the information of the destination that you selected. So I have an example in here. Let me show you. For example, I am going to imagine that I want to promote Villavicencio. So here's an example. What to do? I'm going to mention an activity that you could do in that place. I mean, Villavicencio. So in this space, you have to just write keywords, not full sentences, okay? Just keywords. Imagine that this is the abstract of a paper. And here on the right, you have to write the full sentence. For example, in Villavicencio, you can see a lot of exotic animals if you go to Los Carros Park. and so on, right? So you have to complete this chart with the information of the destination that you picked out. And after you have completed all this chart with the information, you are going to make an infographic. And probably you're wondering, well, what is an infographic? I'm going to show you what an infographic is. Just give me a minute. This is an example of an infographic, okay? It's like a summary, but I mean, it's more colorful. I mean, it must contain all the information, all the previous information that you used in the chart, but it must be in a creative, colorful uh, way, you know? You have to make it look like nice, like attractive, okay? This is an example of an infographic. And once you have done the infographic, you have to share it in the forum, right? So let's continue with the guide. Step 4, collaborative activity. You have to make 2 comments about the work or the infographics of your classmates, okay? Remember that a comment is not to write a compliment. It's not just saying good work, for example, but you have to give like more complex comments like, okay, I agree with you, partner, but I think that it would be better if you did this or if you did that. I mean, more complex comments, right? So the last step is the self-assessment. Don't forget that you have to complete this chart and you just have to write X or cross where you think it goes, right? You read the different items and you assess yourself. Okay, this is something that I did it sometimes. So I write X and that's it. And finally, you will have to upload the document, the final document, on the evaluation environment, okay? Remember that in that PDF document, you need to include all the different exercises that you did for this activity. Well, guys, I hope you have understood this. If you have any questions or doubts, please don't hesitate to contact me on Teams, right? So have a great day. See you next time, guys. Bye-bye.